This week I had a meeting and a phone call with some of the other foster parent representatives and some DSHS staff in preparation for the statewide 1624 meeting. Now, quick refresher, because there's a lot of jargon in that first sentence. DSHS is the Department of Social and Human Services. That's the state agency responsible for foster care. 1624 is the law that says DSHS is required to consult with foster parents about the state of foster care. Elected representatives are the foster parents, 2 from each region, 12 in total, who hear foster parents' concerns and then report them back to DSHS in a quarterly meeting, of which I am one. Got it? If not, I made a whole video about this. Links in the description. Anyway, I've been meeting with foster parents to talk with them about their experiences, and in Bellingham we held a forum for foster parents to bring up issues they'd like to see addressed. We do that about twice a year. And then we had our big regional meeting to choose our talking points, and then a phone call with all the representatives across the state to place those talking points on the agenda. And then next month we'll have our actual meeting, because the 4 we've already had were just prep. When I say that the foster care system is not user-friendly, this is what I mean. Yes, it is a lot of meetings, and yes, it is a lot of hassle, but this is how the sausage gets made, one set of meetings at a time. Anyway, 2 issues we're focused on this quarter are, 1, the availability of training resources, and 2, needed grief and loss counseling for foster parents. On the training resources, there's a really impressive list of training event topics that are made available to foster parents. I'm not tongue-in-cheek. This is a really impressive course catalog. If you want to see it, it lives at allianceforchildwelfare.org/course-catalog. And it's a great list. But the problem is, not all of these classes are equally available in all parts of the state. So, for example, in our region, caregiver core training, that's the training required for all prospective foster parents, is only available in one place this month, and that's Friday Harbor, which is a ferry ride away from everywhere. Anyway, we're going to bring that up. And 2, we're going to bring up grief and loss counseling for foster parenting. You know, foster parenting is really hard. It's hard because you love the kids placed in your home, and then about half the time, they leave eventually. They leave, and they're excited about it because from their perspective, they get to go back to their real home with their real parents. And true and valid as that perspective is, when they say it, and even more when it actually happens, that is very painful for foster parents. And the end of a foster care placement is, for foster parents, much of the time, is a loss. And sometimes you need time to grieve. So in one of these many leading up meetings, I asked if grief counseling is available for foster parents when they need it, and the answer was complicated. And I don't think it should be complicated. I think that after a foster care placement ends, the first phone call you get from DSHS should not be placement asking if you want to take another child into your home. It should be DSHS asking, hey, how you doing? Do you have someone you can talk to? How are you feeling? Do you need some time to process? I think that should be the next phone call. But this second issue, the grief and loss counseling issue, we are not going to carry to the statewide meeting because at one of these lead-up meetings, when I brought it up, some of the DSHS staff in the room said, we think you're right, let's work on it together. So instead of railing about it in a video conference with a bunch of people I've never met, this group of DSHS staff, me, probably a few other foster parents, are going to work on it. And we're going to work out a plan that works in our region. And then next quarter, maybe, at this statewide meeting, we'll have some good news to share about a problem we found and a plan we wrote, and then how it was implemented and how it worked, and what foster parents have to say about it. Because, you know, there's always more than one way to make sausage.